Well, I would say talking stick for the Suns, but they keep changing their arena name. So
It's not talking stick anymore. What is it now?
what's Phoenix Arena? It's Phoenix Arena now. They've changed that name so many times now.
Does it get
so.
it closer to?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, they've changed the name. It's Phoenix Arena now. They're getting the new naming rights in. So it was talking stick forever, and now it's not anymore. So
There was the airlines. Was it a new airline? Southwest Airlines Arena or something?
No,
What was it before? Back in the day.
Back in the day, I don't know. I'm not a Suns
Yeah.
expert, unfortunately. We fell in love with this game. Well, we both like the Suns. I mean, listen, you and the Steve Nash jersey is just shout out to that.
I had to wear it for you, bro.
Thank
I
you,
was like,
brother.
oh,
well,
shit, that homie's coming.
I actually was at a dinner yesterday and I saw that Devin Booker got re-signed. Well, just extended his contract for $70 million.
Yeah.
And I saw it and I was like, oh no, they traded him. I was like, oh no, they did. And I will continue to say this: if Devin Booker gets traded, Arizona will burn to the ground. That is no joke. That to me is that's the greatest son of all time. I think Devin Booker
greatest son of all time.
I think Devin Booker's the greatest son of all time. I think you can put him in that category. He took him to a finals.
You can make the argument, but I think Steve Nash is still greater.
Really?
2-time MVP.
I know, but this guy.
Western Conference. He didn't get him to the finals, but Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like, for me, it's Steve Nash.
Okay, that's fair. No, I think he's number 2. I love Steve Nash. I do love him, but I just think that Devin Booker has been through so much. The bad, the really bad. When he came into the league, he carried them. He got them to a finals. I'm serious. That team. There was no KD, there was no anybody else, but he is really he got him to a final. So that's why I think Devin Booker is the greatest son, and I think his mid-range is something that does not get talked about, and especially what he did defensively in the Olympics.
And he's still young, no? How old is that fool? He's been in the league forever, but he's still got another 10 years.
Early 30? He's got to be early 30s, I would say. I think he's pushing that for sure. Because, he's got, now 5 years on the contract, but he just added two for 150 or whatever that was. Long story short, I almost had a heart attack yesterday. We would not be doing this podcast because I almost thought Devin Booker got traded. So,
yeah, so right now it's losing KD. I feel like the Suns are rebuild mode now. I think they're not going to do anything for the next few years. Mm-hmm. We're going to see what they end up doing. If they end up getting – shout out to the homie.
The homies just walked in. We got all this right now. I love it. Let's go, buddy. That's good. Oh, my God. Dap-ups in the podcast. This is unreal. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, my God. Yes, sir. I do a lot. It's great. Wow. We got a lot of catching up to do. That's for damn sure. We got a lot of that.
So what's new with you? You dropped a new album. Then you dropped a deluxe version of the album. But tell us about what's YungBC up to now that you graduated college.
Yeah, man. It's
moving out of Arizona.
I'm officially out of Arizona after 5 years. It's crazy. It feels like I've been there for 20.
Yeah.
But moving out officially for 5 years. I'll get into the music stuff a little bit in there. But yeah, I'm out of Arizona for a reason. You probably don't know this, but I'm more than willing to announce. I'm moving to Dallas, Texas.
Dallas, Texas?
Moving to Dallas. I would say moving there, but I'm going to be traveling the country covering pickleball, doing social media for the actual 3 out of the 4 major pickleball leagues. The sport has just been growing so much, and, I had some incredible connections that I made at Arizona State, and I know you're processing this right now, so it's kind of funny, but I'm traveling the country. Every weekend, it's just a new thing, a new opportunity, not only just for pickleball, but just for me to also grow myself as well. That's not really why I'm in it for. I just wanted to get out of radio and be in social media.
Cool experience.
Yeah.
So I seen pickleball, at least here in the valley, started to grow. I don't know much about pickleball. What's that whole crazy?
Yeah, it's so funny. I just learned a little more about it as well. But obviously with the leagues itself, it's just grown so much in popularity. Any age can play it. It's literally whether it's 1-on-1 or 2-on-2, just like how you would see in tennis, but it's with a paddle and a wiffle ball. And obviously the only thing is there's a little right near the net. There's a little space. It's called the kitchen. It's kind of like the get out zone. You can't be in the kitchen. Stay out of the kitchen essentially. And there's a line that you can hit it, and it's just really technical and all that and whatnot. And obviously it's sort of like tennis. But then if you're good at ping pong, it helps. It's kind of all over the place. But it's just been such a growing sport. I just had a really good opportunity to take it and just kind of travel the country. Really, I'm really traveling every weekend. I live in Dallas because that's where our office is. But I will be in the Valley a lot, actually.
And you're covering for what league specifically?
The
or
Major League Pickleball and the Professional Pickleball League. So 3 out of the 4 major ones. The NBA of pickleball is what we're doing it for, essentially, if I was to describe it as. But really, really excited,
I feel like the internet has allowed for a new era of sports, because for a long time you had the ones that had the TV networks are the ones that are gonna dominate and they get all the young people and everybody excited. But like with social media, you have like the slap, you have pickleball.
Yeah,
it's the next 100 years.
It's a whole new market. It really is, because you see kind of the age range is much older, but then you're starting to see such a younger influx of people not only playing but now following the sport. And really, like ESPN just covered the recent pickleball tournament in Michigan. They had the #1 player in the world, Annalie Waters, just named by Forbes out of every athlete in the world as the most dominant athlete. You think about that for all sports. She's 18 years old and has won every tournament. And
where's she from?
Don't know. She's from the United States. I don't know exactly the state. I'm getting there with the players right now. I'm just young. Don't put me on the spot quite yet. But just to kind of see how much that sport has grown, it's been super cool. But it was nothing that I expected. I think the face that you gave was exactly what I had. But I think it was an opportunity that I couldn't pass. But I think all I wanted to do was to do social media and just travel. I wanted to be able to.
Because since we started,
and I started doing sports
6 years ago. You were always like, oh, I want to do something with sports or commentary or cover this.
Yeah.
Before you even went to
Correct.
ACP,
and I think it's another opportunity for me, not even just for sports, but just to go to these different states and promote my music on top of that. Like, I'm just saying, like, obviously I'm there more for the social media side, but because I think I fell more in love with that. And we're going to talk a lot, obviously, about music and all of that. But obviously it's just been a crazy run in Arizona State, just Arizona in general. And I mean, we haven't spoken. I mean, we haven't done a podcast. I'm going to say we haven't spoken because we talk, but I'm just saying we haven't done a podcast in over 2 years, and there's been so much that's happened. I mean, you're talking, we'll get into it. It's crazy. I'm happy to be here. It's great. It's really good to be back. It really is.
Yeah, and that's for sure. It's been 2 years. We've done 4 podcasts. This is the 4th podcast.
Number 4.
It's been in 4 different areas, locations, studios.
Your house, your OG house at the trailer park. My original house that I lived in for about 20 years. And then where Desert Underground was, right when it ended, right? Like a couple weeks it ended, I'm pretty sure, if not. And then we're here now.
Yeah.
And an undisclosed location that we will not describe to anybody here that's listening. Yeah.
So, how did you get this opportunity for pickleball? Like, who were you talking to? How did you get this gig?
You know what's funny is that it actually came from someone from Arizona State at first. That's who kind of was starting out as the in-game host. And she really started before kind of the merger of the leagues and was kind of like the host and whatnot and really the social media manager. And I just think an opportunity kind of fell on my lap just because she does social media, and obviously I work in that field as well. And just to be able to talk with her and understand, because we had a lot of mutual friends together, but that's not the reason why I got it. I got it because truthfully I work my ass off, and that's just a given. But it was a cool opportunity, and I saw an opening, and the sport's just growing so much, and to be a part of it, hopefully I don't get fired before this, but for right now I feel good about it, and I'm super, super excited, fired up. I mean, where I was working in radio, working at iHeartRadio, and will forever love it. And that was such an interesting journey in my life. It really was, but I grew up a lot. So that's why it's so funny. The last time we did a podcast, it feels like I was a kid.
Yeah.
But I still am, but I'm just like, now I've graduated, maybe had a year, and just I don't have all the wisdom like a 23-year-old thinks he does, but it's just crazy to think of the growth, and from the last time that we did this to now, how much stuff has changed, where I feel about it.
Well, you went to the Olympics last year.
Went to the Olympics, yeah, in Paris, man.
You went to Paris for the Olympics, bro. Like, how was the experience at the Olympics? That shit, I saw you were at the practice of Team USA, and you get to see like the best players in the world just practicing, just shooting hoops, bro. That's crazy.
It was so crazy, man, especially that, because my whole thing was I just wanted to see LeBron. Yeah. I just wanted to go out and see LeBron and do all of that. But yeah, I got to cover 9 different sports. Basketball, volleyball.
What was the experience of just being in Paris when you first? Was that your first time?
Yeah,
in Paris?
Yeah, first time in Paris. Different because it was very cleaned up. Like the Olympics, and it will be very interesting.
LA.
It'll be, by the way, just want to shout out, make Los Angeles sober again. That's all I got to say to y'all right there. We're gonna put this on just because we're talking about LA. Shout out to my guy Billy Raymond on this one. Seriously, LA sober, great brand promoting non-alcohol lifestyle and natural alternatives and whatnot. But you saw that a lot in Paris actually, and we'll see what happens in LA. But for the most part, I would say being in Paris was a dream come true. I learned so much from there. I got to cover 9 different sports, but being in Paris, man, it was beautiful. It was They did a great job with just kind of the metro side of things because there's 16 different lines of metro in Paris. Well, it'll be interesting for Los Angeles because there's only 6.
Yeah.
And it was just a dream come true just to really be in the newsroom and just be able to really be in Paris interviewing people. I got to try soul food for the first time, which was crazy. Never been a chicken and waffles type of guy, like anything of that nature?
Not too much. I mean, I like it.
I don't know if there's enough in the valley to
Yeah,
really. There isn't really soul food in the valley. Yeah. Oh, maybe LA, but like, yeah, I would say just being out there was a dream come true for sure. Just covering all the different sports, and none of it would have been possible without my mom. She really gave me the false confidence to do this and try it out, and they somehow went with me. They went with me, which worked out really well, and I'm forever grateful not only for Arizona State but just the experience that I had.
And then LeBron, so tell us about that practice. You say you were there just to see LeBron, and then just...
Pretty much I just wanted to see LeBron. I never saw him play up until that point. But, yeah, to see kind of, in my opinion, I would say the second greatest. You could debate the 2008 Redeem team. I'm going to say that's the second greatest United States men's basketball team when you look at it top to bottom. To see the amount of Hall of Famers just practicing. Because I'll give you the craziest story is that I wasn't there for like 2 hours. I was only there for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Social media can fool you sometimes, let me just tell you.
Yeah.
But it was so crazy because it was all these reporters. I'm seeing ESPN. I'm seeing all these other people, and it's just me with a camera person, and I just needed to shoot some B-roll. Like, I really was just there to get 10 minutes of as much footage as I possibly could, and they kind of just like, it's like a Black Friday shopping where they just let all the reporters in, and they're trying to get a good spot. But it was so cool because they allow for the interviews, but it was all why I was there is because it was all at the time Phoenix Suns players, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, even Steve Kerr went to the University of Arizona. So it was an all Arizona ordeal, which was super. Okay. That's why we were there, because I was only covering people that had Arizona ties. That was the whole thing of why we were there. But to be a part of that practice, I mean, seeing Steph Curry practice was, I didn't see him miss a shot. Better yet, the net move, if that says anything. So it was super cool.
That's sick, bro. And do you get to interview the actual players, or just getting the B-roll?
Kind of just the B-roll for that. I got to interview other Olympic athletes. I got to interview some U.S. Olympic swimmers that were from out there. A lot of it really was where it kind of took off for me with basketball was the man on the street videos that I was doing over there. I did it for the semifinals and the finals of both the men's and also the women's team, which that women's team was unreal, especially to watch it. And just kind of came up with something really last minute, and it was like, give them 5 questions, and I had 10 euros on me, and I was like, I'll give you 10 euros if you can guess these 5 hard questions. I don't have them off the top of my head now, but just kind of asking people and just getting to meet people from all over the world. That's what's so cool about the Olympics. So to say how excited I am, the fact it's coming here to the United States, just for people to experience that, whether no matter where you're sitting, just go to an event. It really does not matter. Just to kind of see people at the best of their sport, like, unreal. It's unreal. So super
the fans from all over the world, and get to talk to people. Well, you have the World Cup next year first. That's actually coming next year before the Olympics.
That's going to be interesting for sure with the World Cup, I would say. Just, I don't know. The state of U.S. soccer is very interesting. I would assess that for sure. But, obviously
they just lost to Mexico in the World Cup on the Gold Cup final.
I knew that was coming out of your mouth. Thank you for the reminder. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think it's, it'll be interesting to see with U.S. soccer with this World Cup. I mean, I don't know enough as I used to.
I had more hopes like a few years ago when, I don't know, the U.S. soccer team looked like they were like taking it to the next level.
Yeah.
A lot of players in top European teams and shit, and then I don't know, the last year and a half,
I think it's also the new coach coming in. I think you got to build that up, and I think I saw that a lot in the post-game interviews, kind of watching that and whatnot. They were like, listen, like, we sacrificed a lot to be here, but we grew tighter as a group. And I think that's the thing when you see, especially not even just the United States.
You're getting the new system. The players have to learn the system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, new system.
Plus, we're missing all the best players. A lot of them didn't play. Like 6 of the starters didn't play in this Gold Cup. So, but also that's stupid. It's like, the World Cup is literally in 1 year. I feel like you need as many reps as possible because you're not England or Germany or these like world power teams. Like, I feel like any tournament you should have your best team just because you need that chemistry. So when the World Cup starts next year, you want to have the best shot because it's in your home and you're going to have the crowd behind you. But.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating with kind of the World Cup just to see it just with how U.S. soccer is, but also it's like, because you don't look at them as so much as like a powerhouse, but obviously when you think of United States, anything sports, they think they're the powerhouse. Yeah. But in reality, it's been so interesting to see the way that they've been able to push soccer, but I just think hopefully it's a new global movement. I really do hope that, because I think you see all these other countries and what the World Cup can do for countries, and I'm glad it's actually in the right place and not through a bribery of any type, or whether it's in Russia or hot-ass Qatar. So I'm just very excited, and hopefully I can go to one. The Rose Bowl, I mean, I can only imagine what a World Cup game at the Rose Bowl is going to be like. That's going to be nuts.
They played the 1994 final at the Rose Bowl, like an iconic.
And the women's one too. That's where I think the start of women's soccer really blew up for the United States. Was that World Cup? I mean,
women's soccer is U.S. dominates in women's soccer. Men's is just harder because, like they always say, it's if you're a kid growing up in America, it's like the fifth sport you choose. You know, it's like you got basketball, football, baseball, and then
some if they're going hockey, if they're gonna go there.
Yeah.
I mean, no,
soccer's
100%.
probably like 3, 4, 5, like in that
Which
range.
is sad because it's one of my favorite sports. I love
Football's got like the best athletes. Basketball's got crazy athletes. So
being in the Valley, playing soccer is all I did, so I loved it. Yeah.
Nah, soccer's cool. I like soccer, but okay. So, what's the album? Let's talk about the album.
Oh yeah, let's talk about the album. Yeah, that's why we're here. But Called Always Works Out. Came out with a film as well from that. Obviously, Angel, you had a huge inspiration in that because you technically gave me my first movie credit with the film festival, and I got a little 20-second cameo in there, which was great, and it just started my acting career to where we're at now. So
you went to the premiere for
went to the premiere. Super cool to be there alongside with you, just to see that incredible accomplishment. Always just so proud of you every single time we do this, but. Yeah, man, it was a real different album I put out. I really was working on a lot of it when I was in Paris, a lot of it kind of in the spring break time my senior year in March, and just kind of putting together a lot of songs, have a lot of help from some great people, but I think the bigger part for me was putting it into a film, putting into a short film, because I think just from the promotion side of things, I wanted to do something different. You know, it's funny, you see all these albums up here and all that, and a lot of my film came from the inspiration of your top left over here from when Kanye did it with My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. He put out a short film kind of showing off that album, and I kind of saw that light, and I was like, you know what, let me put a short film together. Now, I don't know what the hell I'm doing when it comes to that, but when you got someone like Matt Vasquez, a super talented guy, a guy that's driven like myself, he's just so smart when it comes to this, and he wrote the script. He kind of had the idea when I came back from Paris being like, hey, so remember that conversation about you possibly acting? So let's do it now. Okay, I wrote you a script. Let's, and the key with it is I wanted to put my music in the film. Okay. That's what the kicker is of it. So anything you hear from that film always works out on YouTube. You know, it's always, you're going to hear the soundtrack and everything, and that's what carried over to this current album. So I wanted a different way to promote my music. I'm always looking for outside things, and I thought this was just, it took me like 10 months to really do this and to film everything, to act and to do all of that, but it was 100% worth it.
No, I know you shared it before it came out. You sent me the link. You're like, hey, you had
you got the sneak peek, dude. You got the sneak peek
of the film. I did.
Yeah, you got the sneak peek. I mean, and it's so funny, just like from where we started from that to see where we're at now. I just don't know a lot of artists that are doing something like that. I don't know an artist that's really putting out something that's a short film that has all the music and it kind of ties in. And then there's a music video in there as well for one of the songs that was played with a live band, New Capital, a great band out of the great state of Arizona. And it was crazy even recording that song. There was no music in my ears. I just sang into a mic, but these kids are so talented. They just hear my voice and the BPM and what it is, and they're just playing along it once it's done. And that's how the song came together.
Oh, shit. So there was
literally, when I recorded it, it was just like nothing in my ear, and I had to just kind of hear a metronome and get the sound right. And they just played guitar and drums over it, and it made the song. And I was like, this is sick. I got to do this more now. So, yeah, very excited, obviously, to be a part of it. Obviously, with not even just my ties with Arizona, but bringing it to here in the Valley, you know. If you're familiar probably with this one producer out here named Shaggy.
Shaggy, yeah.
Don't know if you've ever heard of that guy before.
Shaggy, shout out Shaggy.
Shout out to Shaggy, my guy, as always. Yeah. He had a huge part in it with the production of it. He put out probably some of my favorite songs on the project. Love Lost as an intro track, and then Off Season, which is on the part 2 track. And I think that was the other thing, too. I wanted to have a part 1 and a part 2 and just combine it together once the film came out, just so everyone got to hear a little snippet of it. Okay, then you're gonna get, it's kind of like you get the appetizer, you get the entree, and now here's the dessert.
The release, the plan behind it was the first part of the album, then the movie, and then the second part of the album.
So first part of the movie, the first part of the album came out last year.
Yeah.
In April of last year, And then I had to wait for part 2 to come out right around when the film. So I had to wait like 10 months to put this album out.
You already had the songs ready?
Had the songs ready to go. I was editing it, of course, but I had them ready. Oh, yeah, I had them.
But you were waiting for the film.
Had to wait for the film a little bit, which, you know, that was worth the wait in so many ways. And then that's just kind of, okay, I'm sitting on this. But here's the part 2 that y'all have been waiting for about 9 months now. I wanted to release it earlier, but we had the idea of doing this film. That was never the plan at first when I put out this album. It never was my plan, but I just saw such a creative side of doing it.
Was it 2-part of the plan?
Yeah, 2-part was a part of that was a part of the plan at first. It was just
and what was the marketing behind that, your idea behind that, your creative input?
You know,
why do you want to do it in 2
parts?
parts?
Yeah, I wanted to do it in 2 parts just because I think it goes back to a conversation you and I have about just kind of the attention spans, and I just think it's hard with albums right now, which breaks my heart. It breaks my heart because I'm such an album guy. I really am. But I wanted, you know, a song that's 16 songs on an album. I wasn't expecting everyone to hear all 16 now. Just because now you see it, and just considering where we're at now, just the kind of change with YouTube Shorts and all these other platforms where it's just we're so prone to these quick things. That's why even the film, like, I don't call it a movie because it's only like 10 minutes long. Like, I got to make it like just that time. And, you know, from an artistic side like myself, it kills me. But I also understand it, and I got to appeal to that. Like, I got to dial it back and not be so selfish and just understand kind of the platform and the culture that we're at now. And I don't got a problem with it. I mean, I have it from an artistic side, I do, but that's just another story. No one cares about that. But I also think having part 1 of an album and then fine-tuning this part 2, but then not knowing there's going to be a film attached to it, it was a lot of being patient. But just from the number side alone and how it's doing and just how I feel about it, I mean, I'm still promoting it. It's been out a couple weeks now. Like, I'm still going at it. So it was one of the coolest things I got to do, to really act and just to make something about me, but it wasn't for me, but it ended up being about me, which was awesome. So I got to be myself. I didn't have to be a different character, but I'd love to act again.
And then this is album number what that you dropped?
Dude, this is album number 5 in 6 years.
Yeah.
Album number 5 in 6 years, which, hey, it's taken a toll, as you can tell. But I've seen such an organic transition with music right now. I've seen such a different wave of it, and just to see kind of, to always know, one thing I've told myself is that the music's always going to still be there. That's why I want to do all these other things. It doesn't mean I don't want to not do music. It's just I put out 5 albums in 6 years. Like, that's like a lot for a lot of people, and I'm not satisfied with that, but I'm like, there are other outlets in order for me to, like, I started writing for TV shows now. I started promoting my music through that. So when you watch a show, whether, I don't know what show, give any show, I wouldn't say Love Island or anything like that, but
you watch Love Island.
Of course, my girl, come on now, yeah. But the point is more having that music in the background of songs. When you're watching a show, you're like, oh, like, kind of like the beat of this. Oh, I might like a lyric or two. Let me Shazam this and see where it's at. That's where I've become, because I understand that in music you don't make money unless you go on tour, sell merch, or find other outlets like the ones that I'm doing in order to, you know, make, not successful, but make music and make money off of it. Because,
well, it's all art, whether you're creating for TV shows, for movies, you're acting in movies, creating movies, making music.
Yeah.
It's just art. And you're, like you're saying, like you're taking these experiences, like you're going to school at a different state doing this, traveling to the Olympics. Like, you're still creating music because you're still creating, but at the same time, you're not gonna just not take opportunities. Like going to the Olympics is like once in a lifetime opportunity. Traveling on an upcoming fucking pickleball.
Yeah, no one would have thought that. No, I never would think that I'd be
like
leaving.
5 years ago, I was like, oh, I don't know, maybe I'll be doing some pickleball.
You couldn't have told me that.
That's part of being artistic.
100%, and I'm just so grateful for just all these opportunities. And just, I think if I was to give anybody advice just for how early, like the early 20s that I am, because I think it's such a real thing when you graduate college, kind of that post-grad depression. I think that's such a real thing. I've seen relationships end after like a long time because of post-grad depression, because they're so used to the system of what school and what college can bring, and then they get out to the real world, and I mean, they have the knowledge and the tools because that's what they paid all the 4 years for, but they're kind of in a standstill where they're like, okay, this is the real world. And I think for me to be back in Scottsdale with the job that I had at the time at iHeart and just learning so much just about the business side of everything, like you learn so much about just like social media by being a part of iHeart. I mean, it's the #1 podcast place. It really is, and you see just such a different world with it. And I think to have those experiences and to have this opportunity that, you know, just kind of came in my lap pretty quickly, and now I'm beginning the transition, which I never thought I would be.
And then the short span, like you said, like people don't want to listen to full albums. People don't want to listen to anything long, but at the same time, there is an audience for everything. There's an audience that will listen to the full album.
100%,
There's an audience that will listen to anything that you put out because people get attached to the stories. And then the more creative things that you do, I think it's just avenues to get people attached to your stories.
And I think it's just so different now with music. I just think there's much more of a quantity over quality.
It's just ungodly amounts of music.
Ungodly amounts of music,
and
that kills me in a sense, just because I've been doing it. Like I've been doing music for about 6 years now. I've seen so much change that I never thought would happen, and I think change is good. But it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate for people that, I mean, I can strongly say I grew up in a time, I know you did more than me, but like where albums and CDs and vinyls and all of that are a huge thing. And I mean, I was luckily in an era, truthfully, like it was before kind of cell phones came out, but like, do you remember your first CD that you got? Do you remember kind of like that first album that you listened to? Maybe it's different for everyone, but I feel like you might remember as well.
The first CD I got, first CD. That's a good question. Holy shit. Man, I remember, so I didn't personally get it, but I remember my sister giving me a cassette tape, bro. I'm talking about cassette tapes.
I wasn't a part of this cassette life, no, but I know what they look like,
I got I think I don't know if the album was called Beautiful People, but it was Martin Manson. That's
yeah.
My sister had that, and then she gave it to me because someone gave it to her. I don't know if she bought it. I remember that. I remember the first actual CD. I think it had to be either Eminem, like 2000, 2001.
Which album? The one with like Without Me and all that? No, that was a little later.
That was like 2004.
That was like 04.
So it was the real Slim Shady LP.
The real Slim Shady LP.
I think that was the first album I ever got.
Got it. Honest, Okay, yeah, because
officially.
But that's what I'm saying. Is like you remember that story, and I think
I remember. I mean, I grew up on wrestling. I remember buying the John Cena album.
Like,
listening to the whole thing, like all that shit. And then then I had like a rock face. I used to listen to like ACDC, Metallica.
Well, great bands, incredible bands, no question about that.
And then when I was in high school, getting into Kanye to start. The first one, to be honest, I didn't really listen to all of Kanye's albums. Like I knew the songs, like the popular songs. And then the first album was My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy when I was in hhigh school, because that shit came out in my senior year of high school.
No way.
That shit was like, oh damn, this album's crazy. And then from there, I went back and listened to this discography after. But yeah, anyway, albums.
No, that's
albums.
fair.
I love albums. Like they just tell a story. Because when I listen to Kanye, to be honest, I listen to albums. Like, if I'm gonna go listen to Kanye, I'm not gonna I do listen to a few songs here and there, but it's like, if I want to listen to him, I want to listen to College Dropout, and I'll play like the whole album, because when I'm listening to a song, I want to listen to the way that it was made. I was like, okay, I want this song, and then this song comes after. But I feel like you don't do that anymore, because now it's just whatever's in the algorithm, whatever the one song that you like. Times have changed, but I don't know.
But I think for someone just myself that like appreciates it as you do, as far as albums go and seeing that landscape, like it's made it difficult. I would say it's made it difficult, and I think why I think so is just because there is more of a quantity of artists out there over the quality of artists. And I think when you find those quality of artists, you find them. You know who they are. Everyone has different opinions and different tastes. But it's great that everyone wants to be a artist and a rapper or whatever, but like, what are you really doing it for? What is it that are you in it for the money? Are you in it for the women? Are you in it for the actual art? Like I know myself and a lot of other people are, and I find that to be sort of frustrating in a sense, because it takes away from someone like myself or people that I know that are just trying to make it, and they're just beating themselves to the ground just based on promotion. But I've also just seen it from a social media lens. Like I've just seen it by promoting my own stuff and doing it for such a while now, and I couldn't imagine what it's like for artists now to be able to blow up, besides an algorithm. Because the thing too is with the algorithm and all that, think about it from like a longevity perspective. Like how long, like you think about like bands like AC/DC, or like the different bands obviously at such a higher rate, but like the longevity of those bands are consistently putting out stuff. But then you see all these artists now, like they got one bad album, people forget about them. They got like a Chance. Okay, you want to talk like Chance the Rapper? put out all these albums beforehand, and he put out one album, and everyone thought about it. Now, he's put out some great stuff after that, but are people really knowing about that because they're just basing it off of one album or one thing? Like, if you've heard his new stuff, I'm sincere. Like, it's Old Chance, it's back.
I haven't listened to
No, that's crazy.
Ever since that one album fought. But I feel like for albums, too, at least because I go to a lot of concerts, festivals, things like that. For me, it's like you get an album, and then you see the artist perform that album. Then it's like, oh shit, that's the story. That's
exactly. You begin Vince Staples' album at Coachella. I saw him perform, and I'm the biggest Vince Staples fan. Never heard the album before, but then he performed all of those songs on there, and I was like, okay, this is sick.
The one with we had the bus, or is that no?
Yeah, the one at Sahara. The one at Sahara. I'm trying to think of not the one in 2017 though. Not the one. No. The recent one. Yeah.
It was like 2023, 22.
Yeah, it was like when Lemonade came out with Ty Dolla $ign, and I mean, and also the other thing too is I look up a lot to Vince Staples because I don't know if you've seen a show. Have you seen a show on Netflix?
I haven't seen a show. No, to be honest.
That's crazy. See, that's where like from a rapper and an artist.
Much,
no, I know.
Like you can't keep up with so much media.
Yeah.
Shows on Netflix, shows on YouTube, shows on.
Well, it's a great watch. It's a great watch.
So much. I'll check it out. Was the show about?
It's very interesting. It's like 5 different storylines. He executive produced it, and it really took an inspiration for my film to really be able to be an artist and and it wasn't his music was really in the background. Like he made a full 5-episode series with a new season coming out and putting it on a major platform like Netflix and doing something like that, like just different storylines, like things that you would see within like LA or California. So I know one was like at a cookout, one was at like an amusement park. Like it's just cool. It's very funny. I do love it, and I think from an artistic side, I just appreciate it and I just enjoy that type of content just because from Vince Staples. I mean, he's one of those underrated rappers out there without a question. So I took a lot of inspiration from that. So that's why I started watching that show, and then I kind of saw an artist do it, and I was like, okay, like I'm not gonna make this a TV series, but let me make a short film. Let me make something that's different. So then I can even look back whether music's completely changed in another 5 years and music's just a different concept to us. Like I still have this film, and I have all of my music on here, which makes it even 20 times better.
You know what? When I started looking at music. Again, going back to seeing a lot of artists in live, it's like, in my opinion, the best artists that I've seen is like, they put all these albums, all this music over the, 5, 10, 20 years, and then they create the best 50-minute set out of whatever 100%. It is. And I'm like, oh shit. Then they have these songs that are freaking, they take you in these moods and these experiences. I'm like, if I was making music, the goal should be to make like the best 45-minute set, the best hour 20 set, whether little by little you're picking 3 songs from this album, 2 songs from this album, but once your career and you're presented in front of an audience, blow their minds.
And that's why I love doing shows. I think that's what makes myself so different is the way that I perform. If like, I really say that, like the way that I put doing Desert Underground's a prime example of that. Like the amount of preparation I had for that show and doing that, and like I didn't even have like it was just like that was like I had to make sure that my cues were right. But
you killed it, Desert.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. It was sick. A lot of change from that for sure. But I would say that I like put so much of my time into shows. Like anytime I do a show, I always give it 100% no matter what. I'm putting a lot of thought into the set list. But I see that's how you garner people, is that you go to a concert and you see them, and that's how maybe it's like, oh wait, what was that one song that I heard? Like, oh wait, I can look up his set list. Oh wait, I remember this lyric. Oh perfect, I can do that. So I think performing's another thing, and that's where it even goes back to the amount of artists is that like you have to be able to do a lot of things. You have to be able to put out good music. You have to be able to promote yourself. You have to be able to perform. You really have to do those things. Like you have to be able to do that. And if you can't, like that's a problem. Like I know so many people now that are making music that, I mean, I'll be honest, that I've worked with are just not just like understood. Like they don't want to put themselves out there. Like it's like you work on a song for 6 months, and then once it comes out, it's like you're a ghost. But you're putting so much. Like why would you? If you
you posted on your story, you said that why would you make a song and then not even promote it, or why, you didn't even tell your people like why you?
No, for real though. I'm serious. It's honest. Yeah, I just say that because it's like. If you recorded something, if we recorded this podcast and we were going to put it out 4 months later and you didn't promote it, like how are people going to see it?
Yeah. Like,
how are people like, what's the point of doing it? Like seriously.
Why are you even doing it?
Why are you bothering to do it? And that's my whole thing is that like I've gotten pretty frustrated with that with myself, and it's not even just people that I have on. I'm not being disrespectful. Like the people know who they are when they promote. If you even have that thought in your mind and you're like, damn, is that me? Wait, is that me? That's kind of a problem when you think about that. But if you know you're promoting consistently, like that's all that matters. And I'm not just saying that to everyone, but I find that so fascinating when it talks about the quantity of artists. And I respect every artist and what they're capable of and what they're able to do. But it's like, what are you in it for? Like, I would rather have artists that are truly committed, that are actually promoting themselves. And I try to work with those people. But it's like, why would you bother recording something 4 months ago and you gave the sign off and you said, hey, it's cool, but I want my royalties. I want my royalty check for this. Like, you're going to get the money, but like, you're not promoting the song and it may not be yours, but like, you want people to see this, right? Like, and especially your own music. Like, you put out an album and then 3 days later, no one knows about it. You have to do it every single day. You have to post shorts. You have to be able to do different ways for this music. So yeah, I did post that, but I stand on that because I just think it's so frustrating when people are saying they're artists, but like, they're not in it for the grind. Like, I don't think I don't understand enough of it. I can't say I know everything, but I'm being honest.
Everyone's different. Every artist is different, but a lot of them have that like, oh, I'm gonna make the one song and I'm gonna go viral and then that song's gonna change everything. But it's like, that's like 99% of artists that's not like that. That's that 1% that you get lucky. But even now with social media, like a lot of the songs, you can make songs go viral with a good marketing plan and a good story behind it versus like just putting the song out by itself. Like sometimes you get the 1% that song goes viral and goes crazy, but a lot of these songs are viral for a reason because the artist is doing so many different ways to get people to connect to it, to get people to be aware of it. Because at the end of the day, if like people are not, like you said, no one's posting about it, no one's talking about it, no one's gonna find it.
Like if it's your music, like post it, like they like really promote it. And it even goes back to that 1%. If you do, like imagine like we're talking about earlier with like the longevity of artists. Like, I don't know, I'm just saying more on that aspect. Like if you just put out a song and you've been in the music game for about 1.5 years or something like that, and your song goes up, like how do you go about that? Like you have to understand from the failures of doing it for so long about understanding the business side of things and understanding who and what, because there's when you blow up, everyone's asking for a little bit. They're asking for something at the end of the day. But I just say, like, if you're really making music, or you just like I question it now. I question it a little more now as far as why you're really in it to make music. But if you do it because you love it, hey, we're on the same wavelength. We can talk the same language. But it's frustrating. I think it's just a hard thing. But I think people think, like, oh, well, I got this or that, or there's a thing called scheduling a post. You can just schedule the post and just do that. So I just think there's a lot of excuses, if I'm being honest. And I think I was almost falling in that trap, but I think I've definitely understood it now that I'm putting out this album and doing all this. I've understood it to another level. I really have. So
right now you've dropped the movie.
Yep.
And then music videos. Are you working on music videos as
well? Well, we're working on that. That's part of the film. Rollout? Yeah, part of the film, part of the marketing rollout. I'm just trying to make it a little more bigger budget, I would say, for sure. Just trying to figure out the songs. Just because the album itself, like the complete version's only been out for like 2 weeks. So it's still fairly new, I would say. But for the most part, I mean, yeah, it's obviously doing music videos, a lot of interview stuff. I just think it's not even just that. I just enjoy talking about this type of stuff. I'm not in it for the money. I'm not in it for that. Like, I just love doing this. That's why I'm so, man, I feel like with you, I'm just so honest, and I just stand on that. But I love that. That's a comfortability thing for me. But I've just, it's fascinating to see where everything's at now, but I'm also just proud of myself and to see where I'm at now. But I'm never satisfied. I'm sure as hell never satisfied. That's for sure.
And over there, Dallas, when are you moving to Dallas? You already live in Dallas? What's the situation?
Moving in Dallas next month. So got some time here, just obviously enjoying the time here in an undisclosed location in the Coachella Valley. But just super excited. You know, it's tough to leave Arizona. I loved my time there. I would recommend anybody to, not trying to make it a pitch to go to Arizona State, but I'm also saying, like, I loved my time there. It felt like a bigger Coachella Valley. It really did. And I would say that because it's, you know, Phoenix is one of the top 10 largest cities in the world, but it's like the community is somehow big, but it's small. Like, I used to I've had the same barber for 5 years. I've gone to the same places constantly, and you build this kind of network with these people, and I've built a really good network out there that I'm incredibly proud of. Made some of my lifelong friends, dudes that'll probably be groomsmen at my wedding. Like, seriously, like stuff like that. But I know every experience is different. But I think with being in Arizona and Palm Springs, it felt like home. It felt like a bigger valley. It felt like a way bigger Coachella Valley to me, where I had my stops, I had my places, the people were nice.
The weather's the same as shit.
Weather's literally the same. I'd call my mom and it's like 102. I'm like, oh, it's 104 outside. Like, it's the same thing. But, you know, I wouldn't say all good sports teams. The sports team that you're wearing now is a good sports team. I would say the Phoenix Suns right there. But everything's very different now, I'd say, for sure.
Yeah, so what's your plan with music once you're in Dallas? Because you're starting off in a new city. You're gonna be traveling. Are you gonna be going to make music? Like, how do you make music? Like on your laptop? Or are you hitting up studios? Like, what's the plan?
Laptop
like,
and studios. Laptop and studios. Obviously, I'll be busy doing social media, but that's more in like the daytime, I would say. And I think the one thing that I've been able to learn last year is just organizing my time, really maturing in that regard, and just kind of getting my time frame and understanding what I have space for, understanding that this is the time where there is no breaks. You can relax a little bit later when there's a little more money in the pot and all that. So I think that's how I've always been. I mean, my old job, I was waking up at 4 in the morning. Like, I was waking up 4 in the morning and doing radio till 10 a.m. Like, I was doing that. So I think I used to be such a late sleeper, but now I'm like an early bird now. So I think I've appreciated waking up a little earlier now.
It's way better.
Way better.
Waking up, like, you accomplish so much. Even if, let's say, you don't accomplish a lot of shit, but having just your mind awake for like 4 or 5 hours, like it's 10, 11, you've been up, you feel like the day's so long and you still have so much time ahead of you.
Hey man, those naps are real though.
Yeah.
Those naps are real. Let me just tell you, I love a good nap. That's for sure. I never took advantage of it as a kid, but I like it now. I'd say that. But it's
naps is where it's at.
Learned so much from that, and I think for music, I'm always still going to be doing it. I'm always working, always recording. And just trying to find new ways. I think doing this movie, it's like I would want to do another one. I want to act. I love doing it. I actually it felt like a music video in a sense when you think about it. Like, you're kind of acting in these music videos. Like, I don't think, like, you're going obviously pretty hard 100% in it, but, like, you know, you act in a music video. You sort of do based on what the storyline is or what you're rapping about. You kind of want to make it about that. So, yeah, I mean, obviously I'll be in Dallas. I'll literally be traveling the country. Like, I will. Yeah. I mean, my schedule, I don't know when we're releasing this. I know I'm going from there to Utah to Tennessee to Vegas. Like, I'm just traveling a lot. I'm going to be on a plane a lot. So I think that's another reason why. And I work really, it's like studies have proven, like, you can work pretty well on a plane when you think about that. If you're on like a long
flight,
there
6-7 hours, just
sitting there
chilling.
6-7 hours chilling, like, I feel like you get a lot of good. I don't know if it's how high you are in the sky, but I feel like I get a lot of good. I have certain places I get good ideas at. I would say being on a plane is one, so that's a scary thing considering how much my frequent flyer miles are going to be. So it'll be something else.
And then the job that you have right here with the pickleball, is that like, how does that work? Like, the season goes on the whole year? Is it like 6 months of the year?
Yeah,
it's tournament.
It's
like,
year
how
round.
does pickleball work? Like,
year round, with both the leagues itself, because we're covering 3 out of the 4 major ones. So I mean, I'm kind of getting into it right now where there's like playoffs and whatnot. But the difference between the 2 leagues is one of them is more team based. Like, they have like the Phoenix Flames, the LA Mad Drops, and now they're really trying to market the players and the teams now, and that's where they kind of had me come in a sense where it's like, okay, you've done it with your music, like, how do we do it with these athletes? How are we able to really market them and market just this sport? Because it's growing, but the league itself is growing so much. It's insane. They've already gone international now. So for me, it's just kind of traveling and just kind of shooting these events. Like, it's 4-day tournaments. We actually start our season, I don't know the exact date, but from what I was told, we do start at Mission Hills and Rancho Mirage, which I'm like excited to be able to. We come to the Palm Springs area a lot. We come to the Arizona area a lot. So we're on the West Coast, which I really like. I like that because this is the farthest away I've been from home. This is the farthest away I've been from home, which is crazy to think about saying that out loud now. Gosh, but I'm just excited. I just think it's to be a part of a sport that's growing.
You play pickleball too?
Not at the moment.
I can't see you join the.
I can hit it though. Hey, if there's one sport you do not want the smoke in, it's ping pong. I'm telling you that right now. You don't want it. I won't challenge you in any more sports. I've learned from playing Madden against you. I won't even. I don't want that with you. But I'm just saying. But yeah, I'm learning it. I know how to play it. It's just I'm not in like men's leagues or anything like that doing all that. But I will be playing a lot more of it. That's for sure.
Okay, and then what's next with music? So like you're saying you're gonna be creating that, but you already have a plan of like, are you just? I know you're just in the rollout of this this project.
We're always moving.
Are you already like creating songs? Do you already have a vision for the next project, or what's entailed?
Wouldn't say right now. That's crazy to say, but I'm always working. I'm always coming up with new things. But I definitely think, with the rollout of this, I think I've put so many of my eggs in this basket. So it's like just continuing that rollout. And I think the positive thing is when I do these rollouts for albums, I come up with a lot more things. So it's like it's very fresh right now. I would say I don't have like a title for the next one. I mean, I'm always working. I've always had these ideas. I just think now with this move, I think it's just going to give me a new opportunity to go to different cities and kind of be able to promote myself. Because like I've said, the music's always going to be there. Like I've put out 5 albums in 6 years. Like that's like crazy to a lot of standards. And cool. For me, that's even crazy. So I'm just excited about just going into new outlets. I'm excited to go to new places and be a part of growing things like pickleball. And I think a lot of those came from my experiences that I've had as of recently. Like I mean, you literally interviewed me the last time when I hadn't gone to the Olympics, lived on my own, done all these things, but like you grow from that. You grow from those experiences. So I'm just excited. I feel like I'm not a kid anymore. It feels good. It feels good to say that, but you know, it's a blessing in disguise. The music's always going to be there. You know, it always works out. I would always say that. So I'm just very blessed, very excited.
I think you should definitely make content on the traveling, the experiences, behind the scenes of all the pickleball stuff. Like, hey, we're going to this tournament over here. Like, people are, like, especially me, like, I don't know nothing about pickleball.
Yeah, people, it's growing.
You're saying, like, oh, we're going to check out the #1 player, fucking make some content about the, you know, like, all these social medias, like you said, shorts and YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. People are on those platforms at all times, especially right now. It's summer. People are just going to be consuming at all times. So while we're talking, people are scrolling, just doom scrolling. So if you're making as much content, getting attention, one, you're learning. The more videos that you drop, you learn more how humans behave, how to make better content, what works, what doesn't work. You never know. Some random video is going to pop off that you don't even expect it to pop off. And that's organic reach for them to check out your music, check out your projects. So just keep dropping that shit.
Amen to that.
That's the way to do it.
I'm proud to be from here. You know, I've always appreciated being from here and being able to just talk to you. I just think the growth is insane when I think about it. When I started 6 years ago and just to see where I'm at now, it's insane. And you too, man. It's dude, you're killing. I don't even know. There's no other person that works harder than this guy, and I'm not even BSing that. So it's awesome. Yeah.
No, I appreciate it, bro. Now we're in the come up. I feel like next time I have you on, we'll talk about pickleball being at another level.
Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what's going to happen the next time? I mean, you would have told me I'd be doing pickleball in Dallas, Texas. I'd be laughing in your face. But I'm incredibly grateful for you, man. You always push me to be my best, and I'm just super proud of both of us more than anything. And just to be proud people from the Coachella Valley, that's for damn sure. You really rep the city, man. I stand on that. You're for the city, so I appreciate you for everything, man.
Now we got to keep it going. YungBC, thank you for joining the podcast. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Make sure you guys follow him. Check out the new music video, or the film. I'll put all the links in the description.
The greatest to do it, man. The greatest to do it. Appreciate you.
Catch you next time, bro.
Appreciate you, man.